All right, Ruger Super Blackhawk Hunter. Oh, click, caught me. Big old Super Blackhawk. That's what we have today for your listening and enjoyment. We're going to take a few shots with it and give you a look. Let's get those empties out, and I'll also give you kind of a look at how it's a little bit different than some of the other single actions. But this is a big old hunting handgun, and that's why Ruger calls it the Super Blackhawk Hunter. Even has it on the top strap, I'll show you. But the gun is very heavy. I think it's 52 ounces. Has adjustable rear sight. Even has an easily replaceable front sight. You notice the scope rings in the rib on the barrel, so that you can use the Ruger scope mounts and rings and everything that I think come with it. This gun was lent to me by a viewer, but he took the scope rings off and everything, and Scopey wasn't interested in that. But Ruger does a good job, as I understand, with that. You can get the scope on there and the mount and the rings, take it off, pop it back on there, and it's going to be pretty much where you left it. So they excel at that, and that's why you have the little indentions and the rib there to mount that. So again, if you're a handgun hunter, lots of handgun hunters do like to have a handgun scope on there, so it's set up for that. Okay, big old gun. Ruger, the Blackhawk's been around for a long time. Goes back to the 50s, 1950s. I don't know the exact year. I had my very first center fire pistol or a handgun was a Ruger Blackhawk in 45 Colt, and this is a Super Blackhawk, and they have changed some over the years. The Super is bigger, Super, and a little stronger, and it's geared for the 44 Magnum. In fact, I had my first 44 Magnum was a Ruger Super Blackhawk in blue, and that was about 1973 or 4. So I'm familiar with these guns. I've had the Red Hawks and the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks are the single action guns. You should know that if you're a regular viewer. You have to cock it to fire it. You know the trigger won't fire the gun unless it's cocked. The Red Hawk is the big old gun like this, but it's a double action, and a lot of people use those for hunting, and they have some Super Red Hawks set up with the same kind of scope mounts and different things. So big gun, designed for hunting, but it's for anything you want it for. I'm going to hunt with it today. I'm going to see if I can pop a pig or two here, probably. Some things about this gun, while I have it too, I want to show you the difference. I talk about this quite often in videos whenever I have a Colt single action out, and this gun's unloaded as well. One of the things I talk about is that action, why I load 5 and everything. Well, notice the difference with this gun. If I start to put on half cock to free up the cylinder, there is no half cock. It's okay, there's a full cock, but you know, what you do with this, it's a newer action. You open the loading gate and that frees it up. Okay, so that's of course another safety device. It's a totally different mechanism inside. The guts of this gun, Sam Colt would not recognize them. Believe me, he would not recognize anything from the mainspring to anything. It's just a totally different design, well, for the most part in there. And I have not really worked on them much. I've had them apart just to see enough that I don't really know what to do with it. Whereas with a Colt single action, I can replace parts and polish them and do about anything I need to do, except I don't do much trigger work other than polishing. So anyway, you open the loading gate and you load it. The Vaqueros that are used so common and popular in cowboy shooting, they're just like this. You open the loading gate and it frees up the cylinder, and then you close it up. It's kind of frustrating. You go to cock it, and sometimes, you know, if you don't have that loading gate closed, it won't cock, and you know, it's designed to be safer. Whereas with the Colt single action and any clones of it, you have to have it at half cock before that will turn like that. And you can even close the loading gate. You know, the loading gate's irrelevant. It's just a piece of metal on a hinge. It has nothing to do with the mechanism. See, on the old guns and the clones of those, you have to have them half cock. Okay, so it doesn't free up anything. It's just a piece of metal. It has to be on half cock to load and unload. Then you bring it all the way back before you let it down. So anyway, that's why you load 5. You got that evil looking firing pin there, you know, resting right there by that rim. Okay, so thought just while I had both of them out, I'd grab one of those real quick. So this gun is designed for hunting. It is all the characteristics for that, the adjustable sights. It's a pretty neat gun. It has a rounded trigger guard. The early Blackhawks, I think even the Super Blackhawks, had the square back trigger guard. I remember on my Super Blackhawk in 44 Magnum, that would hurt me occasionally, and I like the rounded trigger guard. The old Dragoons, you know, had that square back. I think even the Colt Navy had it. And then in the later models of those guns, they went to the rounded or oval trigger guard, which is a lot nicer. You have an unfluted cylinder. You have an extra long ejector rod there. That's nice. You can get those cases out. Get it lined up there, of course, or it won't work. There we go. So you get plenty of length on that. That's your ejector rod, just like on an old Colt or something. Push this little button. Of course, we're clear. Push the little button right in front of the rib there, and it frees up this front sight. So the front sight's very simple to replace. You can put a different color in, or a higher, lower front sight, depending on what kind of shooting you're planning to do. Has a base pin's got an extra long there. Okay, this little piece right here, which may not be that obvious to you if you haven't noticed a lot of base pins. And what else do we have here that might be of interest? The trigger is pretty nice. It's a little wide. I like that. The hammer is a little wider than the standard Blackhawks, and it's also lowered just a little bit. So even if you don't have large hands like I do, it's a little easier to reach and get up there on it. So it's got a good feel to it. It really does. And it's a 44 Magnum. You know, you can never go wrong with a 44 Magnum. 7.5-inch barrel. There you go. So, pretty shootable gun. I've taken a few shots with it. I think I know where to hold it, and we'll see if I do, won't we? Nothing like shooting somebody else's gun. So I appreciate a viewer lending me this. We're going to take a few shots with it. Let's just load some up here. Again, you open the loading gate and that frees it up. If you see, you don't have to put your finger on the trigger and cock the hammer. You know, Ruger was involved in a lawsuit back in, I guess it was the 70s. I may have told this story. I guess it's accurate, somewhat accurate. I heard it from several sources, where a guy had a Blackhawk in his truck, on his truck seat, and had to stop, and it fell off the seat. Hammer hit the round, and he shot himself, or it shot him, or something happened there. And anyway, there was a lawsuit involved, and as a result of that, Ruger changed the mechanism on their guns, I think, was part of the settlement. It also reminded you on the barrel to read the instruction manual. You know, you see that on Rugers, which always takes me to the instruction manual whenever I have a Ruger. So if I'm interrupted, the video's interrupted, it's because I've read that. Right now I have my eyes closed. I'm just not looking at it. I know it's there, but if I see it, I have to go get the instructor or instruction manual. So she's hot. She's ready to go. It's a 44 Magnum. Let me make sure I've got my glasses clean. And I'm going to see, since it's a hunter, let's see if we can take some animals over there with it. I think I know where to hold. So we'll see how close I am. All right. Ruger Super Blackhawk Hunter. See if it likes to hunt pigs. I believe I need to hold right on the bottom of the pig and then pull the trigger. Yeah. Did something right on that one. Yep. I knew I messed up on that one. Yep, that one felt good. Okay. All right. Hey, this gun will be good for hunting. Did he fire 5 or did he fire 6? Okay. Neither, I think. Oh. Saw something move, but I wasn't really shooting at it. Whatever it was. All right. I believe that was 6. I do believe if I worked with this gun a little bit, I would be really ashamed of myself if I missed very much. Because of that long barrel, long sight radius, it's not a major problem figuring out where to hold and where to hit. Of course, it's never easy. You still have to get a good trigger release. That's the thing that just doesn't matter where the sights are and how accurate the gun is, how accurate, well, accurate's not the word to use, but how well adjusted, let's say, the sights are, and you have it exactly where you like it. You're able to take the sight picture exactly the way you want to. You still have to have it in the right place. Got that one mixed up. You want to know why that one wouldn't go in there? It's a 45 Colt. Okay. In the wrong box. All right. Let's try a couple more. Yeah, let's go turkey hunting. Okay. Let's add another one. I'm going to start over anyway. That's one thing I have a hard time determining where the rounds are in this gun. I have a lot of gap there. We have one live one left. That's okay. I'll tell you what let's do. Let's take a break here and shoot something kind of hot. You want to? How about a black Talon? Ooh, sounds evil. Since this is a well-built, really strong gun, and most 44s are, it begs to be fed something a little stronger, a little more evil, like a black Talon. I have some of these left over from the old days. I shouldn't be shooting them. That are actually collector's items. But let's put about 3 of these in here. This would be a great hog cartridge. Maybe there's 4 of them. Those are 250 grain rounds. Okay. And as usual, it's another hot, humid, really humid day in Middle Tennessee. We've had so much rain. So much rain. But it's never too hot to shoot. Never too hot to shoot. Never too cold to shoot, actually. Maybe less comfortable on some days, but we get through it. All right, now we got some really hot stuff here. I think I'll pop these 2 liters with them. All right, let's get a little closer. Make sure we don't waste these expensive rounds. Oh, not too close though, because I think I want to shoot that watermelon. All right, black Talon is coming after you. That did the job. Got 3 more. I think I wounded him actually. It was not a direct hit. All right, 1 more. Direct hit. Raspberry everywhere. All right. Yeah, I got several boxes of those black talons back in the day, and just sort of hung on to them. All right, let's do a little more hunting. This is a pretty nice gun, has a nice trigger. If you're a handgun hunter, or you have aspirations to do that, this gun would serve you well. Now, and I'm not talking out of both sides of my mouth. You know, I have a extreme fondness for the Colt single action. They're just not they're not chambered in a 44 Magnum for one thing, or any really powerful cartridges. Now you load a 45 Colt up with black powder, a full case, and it's hot, really hot, and the pressures will work in an old Colt or a new Colt. But you can't shoot something with modern powder like a 44 mag in them. So you really do want something like this probably if you want to hunt with a revolver. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, okay. We're going to hunt some more. It is the Hunter. Super Blackhawk Hunter. We don't have any Black Hawks to hunt, but we got some turkeys over there and pigs. Does the job. Well, you know what? Let me try that chicken down there. Well, that turkey I just rolled. Since I think I know where to hold, doesn't mean I can hit it today. I think I was close. Click. Okay. I was scaring him at least. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty nice. That thing lays them right in there, and not a lot of excuses. It's a shooter error if you miss with that thing, anything of any size. You know, like if you're going deer hunting, and you wouldn't want to take any shots that weren't, good shot, even though it has a long barrel. And you all know this, I think. I'm not really a hunter myself, but you don't shoot a game unless you have a good shot, and really confident that you're close enough, and you are skilled enough with whatever arm you have and that sort of thing. But you wouldn't be trying to pick off a little chicken or something that's that far away with it. Of course, you probably wouldn't be hunting chickens, would you? I don't know when the season opens on chickens. Actually, I guess it's year-round, right? As long as you're going to fry them or barbecue them, whatever you're going to do. You know what? I don't think I've given the gong enough attention, because gongs are always in season, 12 months out of the year. Wouldn't know by that shot. I'm going over it, I guess. Let me bring her down a little bit. Yeah. Getting overconfident. Definitely overconfident. Okay, I should have hit that thing 6 times out of 6. So we may have to revisit that a little bit. All right, barrel's getting really warm. While I'm loading, let's see, is there anything I haven't told you about this you might want to know? Again, it's designed mainly for hunting. Long barrel, ability to put a scope on it. Very rugged. Very, I don't know, it's not overly heavy, but it's not as heavy as that 500 Magnum or anything, but it's pretty warm, or pretty heavy. It is warm. It's funny, that's on my mind since my fingers were burning from being against that barrel, but it is pretty hefty. It's not a bad looking gun for a modern gun, is it? Doesn't have the lines of the old Colts. You know, that's the thing that when I see a Blackhawk or even a Super Blackhawk, I think of it as a gun that has a function, has a purpose, like I've talked about here, as a hunter. But it's hard for me to it's hard for me to like them as much as the old Colts, because they deviate from the classic lines. They just really do. But they are stronger. On the flip side of that, the positive side, they are stronger, definitely. Okay, and less fragile. Put my ears on. I think I would know that right away. All right, I think I was going high, and might have had a little flinch action or something going on there. We'll see if I can do a little better. All right. Woo! Do I have another one? I wonder if that cowboy's ever been hit with a 44 Magnum. Not many cowboys in the Wild West were shot with a 44 Magnum, as in none. Maybe a 44 for sure, but not a 44 Mag. Yeah, it's easy to miss with a handgun. Doesn't matter how long the barrel is, how much you've been shooting. Got to keep it on the target. Nice let off, see the sights, and all that kind of thing. So I guess we probably fired it enough. Nice gun. I again appreciate the fellow contacting me and lending it to us for the calls, because I know a lot of you have Ruger double actions and Ruger single actions, Red Hawks and Blackhawks, both. Very, very popular gun, been around a long time, and they just work. Very durable. Good old rugged guns, very reliable. You rarely have trouble with them, and this one is set up for action. It's set up to take out there in the snow and the ice and just wherever you want to hunt with it, with a scope or without a scope. It has adjustable sights there, and I did crank those up a little bit, and it hits pretty well where I want it to. So pretty nice little gun. Ruger Super Blackhawk Hunter, coming to you from the compound. Life is good.